In 8 playoff games played so far, Leon Draisaitl has 17 points and 13 goals. The next closest to him in goals is Mikko Rantanen with 7. Draisaitl also having a 4-goal performance, only to lose 5-4 in that game, which makes me wonder how many Leon Draisaitls it would take for the Edmonton Oilers to win a Stanley Cup. We're just going to keep simming and adding a Leon Draisaitl every year until they win a cup. The only negative in doing stuff like this is I do have to replay the 2022-2023 season. When we look at awards and all that, everyone's going to stay the same age. It's going to be the same year. Don't worry about it. We got to start vanilla with 1 Leon Draisaitl. Edmonton would finish with a 43-28-11 record, earning 97 points for 8th in the entire league. It would be McDavid leading Edmonton in points with 105, Draisaitl earned 98. McDavid also led the team in goals with 42, while Draisaitl had 41. With McDavid doing good enough to lead the entire league in points, while Patrick Laine led the league in goals with 52. Not today, Nathan MacKinnon, not today. After sweeping Vancouver in the first round, Edmonton would lose to Seattle in 5 games in the second round, while the New York Rangers would beat the Dallas Stars in 7 games to lift the Stanley Cup. You can't make this stuff up. MacKinnon didn't lead the league in points, didn't lead it in goals, but he is still your regular season MVP. The EA bias towards MacKinnon continues. Adam Fox wins the James Norris Trophy, Patrick Kane would win the Conn Smythe, and Carter Hart would win the Vezina Trophy, while Georgiev would win the William M. Jennings. Year number 2, Connor McDavid centering 2 Leon Draisaitls, and the team would actually do worse with a 41-28-13 record, earning 95 points for 10th in the entire league. McDavid would have 118 points to lead the team. Our cloned Leon Draisaitl had 103 points, while the original had 88, while our cloned Leon Draisaitl would lead the team in goals with 45. And obviously McDavid leads the league in points with his 118, while it would be Nathan MacKinnon grabbing the top spot in goals with 54. And Edmonton would once again face Vancouver in the first round, beating them in 5 games this time, only to lose to their rivals, the Calgary Flames, in 6 games in round number 2. Calgary going all the way to the finals, but they would lose to Boston in 6 games. Hey, look, and in this reality, Boston beat Florida. McDavid would grab a regular season MVP this time around. Cale Makar would win the James Norris Trophy, with Pasternak grabbing playoff MVP, Vasilevsky grabbing the Vezina, and Saros grabbing the William M. Jennings. And we're going to try something wacky this year with 3 Leon Draisaitls. We're going to put them all on the first line and see how they perform. Well, instead of going upwards in points, we're going downwards. Year number 3, 93 points earned, 45-34-3 record, finishing 15th in the entire league. We're supposed to be going upwards and not downwards. On the bright side, all 3 Draisaitls were the top 3 on the team in points, the real one being the top with 94 points. McDavid only getting 81 on the second line, but he definitely carried the line, as he would also lead the entire team in goals with 43. It would be Patrick Kane leading the entire league in points with 103, as well as leading it in goals with 55. This was the Patrick Kane the Rangers were hoping to get. It didn't quite turn out that way. We once again made it out the first round, no problem, beating Dallas in 5 games, but we would lose in game 7 to the LA Kings in round number 2, who would go on to beat Florida in the Stanley Cup Finals to lift the cup. It would beat them in 6 games. Kevin Fiala led the entire playoffs in points with 27, while Ovechkin led it in goals with 14. Man only played 20 games. Fiala played 27 to score 11. McKinnon's also flexing, 17 games played, 13 goals. You can't keep getting away with this, man. Nathan MacKinnon is your regular season MVP, even though Patrick Kane led the league in goals and points. And I know it's the most valuable to his team, but I think Kane was the most valuable to his team. Maybe not, because Adam Fox would win the James Norris Trophy, Fiala would win playoff MVP, Allmark winning the Vezina, and Georgiev winning the William M. Jennings. Year number 4, we're not going to go a full Draisaitl line again. McDavid definitely deserves to be on the top line. Now that's progress upwards. We finished 3rd in the entire league with a 52-23-7 record, earning 111 points. Our top 5 is 4 Leon Draisaitls and 1 Connor McDavid. It would be Draisaitl finishing on top of the team points with 92, while McDavid still takes the scoring crown with 35 goals. Austin Matthews would lead the entire league in goals with 53, while it would be Mitch Marner leading the league in points with a whopping 123. And this is just a heartbreaker, as the New York Rangers would beat the Edmonton Oilers in the Stanley Cup Finals in game 7. This would be the 2nd cup of the day for the Rangers. Edmonton would beat Nashville in 6 games in the first round, sweep Vegas in the second round, and then beat Colorado in 6 games in the conference finals, only to lose in heartbreaking fashion in 7 games in the finals. Mitch Marner is your regular season MVP. Adam Fox is once again your James Norris winner. Patrick Kane his playoff MVP once again. Robin Leonard grabbing the Vezina, and Igor Shesterkin winning the William M. Jennings. Year number 5, I decided the team could probably use a little bit more defensive awareness. So we're putting in our first defensive Leon Draisaitl. His overall does drop by 1, but he's still a 94 overall defenseman, the highest on the team by far. And the team not doing too bad. They'd finish with a 48, 25, and 9 record, earning 105 points for 5th in the entire league. Clone Leon Draisaitl leading our team in points with 101, while the OG Draisaitl led our team in goals with 37. We did not have a 40 goal scorer. And the return of Nate Mack is upon us. Nathan MacKinnon 110 points to lead the league, also leading it in goals with 49, him and Kucherov tying. And the Edmonton Oilers would once again lose in the Stanley Cup Finals, this time in 6 games to the Tampa Bay Lightning. A very good run though, beating Vegas in 6 games in the first round, sweeping Calgary in the second round, and beating Colorado in 7 games in the conference finals, but another heartbreaking defeat when it matters most. And this one isn't as surprising. Nathan MacKinnon wins regular season MVP once again, with Victor Hedman grabbing the James Norris Trophy. Steven Stamkos is your playoff MVP. Sorokin wins the Vezina Trophy, as well as the William M. Jennings Trophy. This team has to win, right? Leon Draisaitl is their entire second line, as well as McDavid and 2 winger Draisaitls on the top line. The team would finish with a 58, 19, and 5 record, earning 121 points to lead the entire league. McDavid would lead the entire team in points with 104. He had 70 assists. Meanwhile, it was a 4-way tie for goals on the team with 34, 3 Draisaitls and McDavid. Mitch Marner and Connor McDavid would tie for the most points with 104, with Ovechkin leading the entire league in goals with 60. And that's James Van Riemsdyk casually dropping a 42-goal season. I'm not liking how this ended. We swept St. Louis in the first round, we swept Seattle in the second round, and then we lost in 6 games to Colorado in the conference finals. At least the Rangers didn't win the cup again. Colorado would beat them in the finals in 6 games. Connor McDavid is your regular season MVP. Defensive Leon Draisaitl grabs the James Norris Trophy. I love to see it. Nathan MacKinnon grabs the Conn Smythe Trophy for playoff MVP. The Vezina Trophy goes to Ullmark, and so does the William M. Jennings Trophy. We now have a top defensive pairing of Leon Draisaitl and Leon Draisaitl. And this is year number 7, a 58, 20, and 4 record, earning 120 points, finishing first in the entire league once again. They're seeing very low point totals right now, though. 88 points led the way for one of the Leon Draisaitls, and it would be another Draisaitl scoring 38 goals to lead the team. There's only one 100-point player this year, and of course it was Nathan MacKinnon. He had 113 points to lead the league, while Austin Matthews and Alex Ovechkin led the league in goals with 49. This game is tripping balls right now. After an incredible regular season, we lose to Minnesota in the first round in 5 games, and the Rangers would win another Stanley Cup. Nathan MacKinnon is a regular season MVP once again. I'm losing track of how many times we've seen this. McAvoy wins the James Norris Trophy. Patrick Kane grabs another playoff MVP, with Hellebuck winning the Vezina Trophy and Stuart Skinner winning the William M. Jennings. He should have played like that in the playoffs, because he clearly didn't. Now in year number 8, this team literally cannot lose. Leon Draisaitl is a third line center. Like, look at that third line. Leon Draisaitl, Zach Hyman, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and they have Evander Kane on the 4th line, for crying out loud. Well, the regular season is a really big success. 66, 11, and 5 record, earning 137 points, obviously finishing first in the entire league. And it would be McDavid leading the team in points with 115. There's only one other 101-point player. Obviously, it was one of the Draisaitls. It'd also be Connor McDavid leading our team in goals with 49. While McDavid led the entire league in points, it would be Nathan MacKinnon leading it in goals with 54. Well, folks, I think it's now or never. We face off against the Tampa Bay Lightning in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. But I am ready to be hurt again. Period number 1, 2-1 Tampa. Period number 2, 3-2 Edmonton. A couple goals from Draisaitl. Which one? Who knows? Edmonton really outplaying Tampa right now, and Tampa ties it as I speak. Are we gonna get Game 7 overtime? Maybe not. Draisaitl scores on Vasilevsky to give Edmonton a 4-3 lead halfway through the period, and then Kucherov just scores again to tie it. What's gonna happen? 5 minutes remaining. 4, 3, 2, 1. Overtime! No overtime! I'm jumping in for the celebration. There's 41 seconds left. I believe it was the real Klim Shady, Klim Kostin, scoring with like 40 seconds left to go up 5-4. I say I'm jumping in to see the celebration, but there's still a large chance that Tampa Bay could score. They have 45 seconds to tie the game, and Hedman's coming in strong. They pull the goalie, Draisaitl to Costin, and Costin seals the deal with the empty netter, and it's definitely official now. And with the help of 8 total Leon Draisaitls, the Edmonton Oilers would beat the Tampa Bay Lightning in 7 games to finally lift the Stanley Cup. Very interested to see who McDavid passes the cup to, because he has so many Draisaitls to choose from. He's got to give it to one of them, right? I mean, look at all the Draisaitls. He's got to pick one of them, please. I beg you. He's not going to, is he? He's really thinking about it, and of course he gives it to Ekholm. He had, what, 4 or 5 Draisaitls on that list, and he chose Matthias Ekholm. I mean, fair enough. Now look at how we got here. We beat St. Louis in the first round in 7 games. We beat LA in the second round in 7 games, beating Winnipeg in the conference finals in 6 games to finally beat Tampa Bay in 7 games in the finals. So in the land of EA Sports, it would take Edmonton 8 Leon Draisaitls to win the Stanley Cup in the great year of 2023. Our team won almost every award. Our Ross Trophy, McDavid. Hart Memorial Trophy, McDavid. Stuart Skinner won the Calder, for crying out loud. And obviously playoff MVP at McDavid. Vezina Trophy, Skinner. William M. Jennings Trophy, Skinner. As well as the Ted Lindsay Trophy going to Connor McDavid. But that is going to be it for me today. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.